Quick Food Deli. That sign looks like it's been there a while. We could maybe do a view from over on the far side. Maybe if you look at that side. This is a good place. You could stand over here. And I like that view. There's some protection from the wind with this sign here. I'm in Kingston, New York, and I want to do a painting of this gas station. And I want to reduce it pretty much to light and black, or light and dark, so almost black and white, but a little bit of warm and cool in the light, a little warm and cool in the dark. So that means taking all the values, all the colors, and trying to simplify them down. Last night I coated the surface of the paper with a priming of white mixed with cerulean blue in casein. Now casein seals after it dries, so it won't be disturbed with wet washes of the gouache later. Now using a regular graphite pencil, and before that I was using a watercolor pencil, I'm drawing the lines. I first just eyeballed them, I just observed them to try to guess their slopes, but now I'm trying to put those guesses into a regular grid. So what I'm trying to do by drawing this grid on here is to give myself some guidelines so that when I'm using the brush I can work in between these lines and put the strokes in perspective. So I'll be drawing it mainly with the brush. I'm just doing the drawing here to pin down the measurements. So now at this point I've got the basically and enough so I can start establishing the dark. So I'm going to use a large flat brush and come right in and paint the darks first. Here's the palette. On a thin piece of cotton cloth that's dampened with water I have titanium white, cadmium yellow, ultramarine blue, a cerulean which is really phthalo, burnt sienna, and black. I won't use much of the black. I got my rag here, water cup here held on with magnets, the sketchbook ready to go, the microphone to pick up contact noise, brushes, and the palette. And what I'm going to do here, I'll start by mixing a dark, cool color, a little bit of warm, I don't want it to be too blue, and I can start by painting in that shadow. As these strokes go down, two things happen. They tend to float on the surface a little bit because of that casein priming. And also they dissolve those lines just a little bit because those reddish-brown lines are done with a water-soluble pencil. What I'm looking for are the shadow planes or the shadow masses, all the areas that are in shadow. Anything that's not in shadow, I'm leaving just that blue of the priming for now. What I'm keeping foremost in my mind is making the shadows darker than they appear, and the light areas will be lighter than they appear. Both Jeanette and I are working standing up, which gives us a little more freedom to move around. But I should have remembered to bring a hat with a visor because it gets real bright when you're painting toward the sun. Okay, so now I'm mixing white with some warm colors, yellow and burnt sienna. The little gas station building is a warm color, and I'll let some of that cool priming color show through. Hey, how's it going?
I was wondering, I thought maybe you were maybe surveying, but I guess he's doing small.
Yeah, just doing a small painting here of the gas station. Nice day. We're getting our tire fixed over at the tire place, so this is the best way to kill time.
Okay.
A few people came up to say hi, and we also told the guy inside the gas station what we were doing, because our setups don't exactly look like painting setups. I'm looking for both warm colors and cool colors in the shadows, and fortunately that building is a bluish color, so it makes a good dark framing mass for all the light values. Even though I've covered up most of my perspective lines, I still know more or less what the perspective grid is doing, and I try to use the square brush with the edges parallel to those lines. The The little piece of paper that I have clipped on top of my easel is a reminder to group the light areas, warm, neutral, and cool, and to group the dark areas, warm, neutral, and cool, all within a fairly narrow range, no middle tones. With this scheme, what I have to do is make anything that's in the light, like the sign, the letters on the sign, make them much lighter than they appear. And I'm painting them with a very light tint of burnt sienna. I'm using a fairly small round brush, and I'm painting it fairly compressed because this is a foreshortened side, so that means that the letter spacing is going to be tighter. The storefront itself, with all its signs and detail, is what attracted me to the scene in the first place. It's the center of interest, so I'm lavishing most of my time in this area and using small brushes. Well, the whole reason we're painting this gas station is because we're getting the tire place around the corner to take the nail out of our tire, so we're on foot. And a lot of times, my favorite paintings are the ones I do when I'm stuck somewhere at a laundromat or a hotel or car fix-it place. Before we go, I thought it'd be fun to show the guy that works in the convenience store the final painting. Quick food.
Yeah.
I almost couldn't quite paint you in there, but I got everything else.
Excellent.
Just a job, huh?
Yeah.
But this place has been here a pretty long time, huh?
That's a good job.
Thank you.
Yep.